If you are preparing for a Scholastic Aptitude test in physics, then this tutorial is meant for you. Let's look at the following practice questions based on the Scholastic Aptitude test, examination standard, and curriculum. So questions 1 to 3 has the following options: amplitude, frequency, resonance, wave speed, oscillation. Question 1. The brightness of light and the volume of sound are associated with which wave characteristic? So option A is the correct answer because amplitude refers to the volume of sound, while brightness refers to the volume of light. Question 2. Which wave property is controlled by the medium that the wave propagates through? Option D is the correct answer because the speed of wave will always depend upon the medium in which that wave travels. Question 3. Which wave property remains constant when light waves enter a medium that has a greater optical density? So you need to understand that whenever there is a change in the optical density or in the optical medium, frequency is the only quantity that remains constant. Frequency is the only parameter that remains constant. The wave speed will change and the wavelength will also change, but frequency will remain constant. So B is the correct answer. Question 4 to 6 refers to the following field diagrams. Question 4. Which diagram correctly depicts a uniform magnetic field? So E is the correct answer because a uniform magnetic field has the same magnitude and direction at every point within that region of space. And the field lines are always parallel to each other. So option E is the correct answer. Question 5. Which diagram correctly depicts the magnetic field of a wire carrying a current into and perpendicular to the page? So you need to understand that whenever the thumb of your right hand is pointing into the page, then your fingers will curl in the clockwise direction. And this indicates the direction of the magnetic field being created by the currents. Now you need to understand that although option D is a magnetic field created by a current, but it is coming out of the page, not into the page. So option D wouldn't be correct, but option C will be the most correct answer here. Question 6. Which diagram correctly depicts the electric field surrounding an electron? So option B is the correct answer because electric field lines always point towards a negative particle, but at the same time they will point away from a positive particle. So you need to understand that option A is for positive particles, not negative particles. So B is the correct option here. Question 7 to 8 has the following options: Albert Einstein, Albert Michelson, James Maxwell, Ernest Rutherford, and J.J. Thomson. Question 7. Which scientist suggested that light could be thought of as packets of energy and that the exact quantity of energy could be determined by the equation E equals to hf? Option A, Albert Einstein, is the correct answer here because this statement talks about Albert Einstein and his photoelectric effect. So it was his photoelectric effect that earned him his Nobel Prize. He was able to give us the theory behind the photoelectric effect. So option A is the correct answer. Question number 8. Which scientist determined that the atom consisted mostly of empty space with a small, dense, positive nucleus? So this is a statement that talks about Ernest Rutherford and his gold foil experiment. So the correct option here is D, Ernest Rutherford. Questions 9 to 11 has the following options: Coulomb's law, Faraday's law, first law of thermodynamics, Lenz's law, and second law of thermodynamics. Question 9. The change in internal energy of a system is equal to the energy transferred into or out of the system by work and or heat. So this statement talks about the first law of thermodynamics. So the mathematical equation is delta U equals to Q plus W, where delta U is the change in internal energy, Q is the quantity of heat, and W is the work done. So option C is the correct answer. First law of thermodynamics. Question 10. This law describes the direction of an induced current must follow so that the induced magnetic field opposes the change in flux of the original magnetic field. So this statement talks about Lenz's law. And you need to understand that Lenz's law is just a restatement of the law of conservation of energy because it applies to induced electrical currents and their subsequent induced magnetic fields. So option D, Lenz's law, is the correct option. The last question, 11. The entropy of a system always increases until the system reaches an equilibrium. So the correct option here is E, because according to the second law of thermodynamics, the entropy of an isolated system will always increase until an equilibrium is reached or attained. Thank you. God bless you.